probably right. Black cats and goblins on Halloween night. Trick or treat!
Hello everybody, welcome to number 2 of my best to worst. We're worst to best we're gonna go this time. Of the Halloween movies I have watched. So it's just because I have made a new, I have watched part 4, so I have to change this. So, my least favorite, the worst movie in the series that I watched, and I am currently watching Halloween 5, but part Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, part 6, Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. This is the worst movie ever made. It's horrible. I advise you to not watch it. It's junk. It sucks monkey nuts. It sucks cocks in hell, just like your mother. No, I'm playing around. Yeah. It's just a quote, but it's horrible movie. Horrible movie. I advise everybody not to watch this movie, but I'll go over why later on. Okay. The third. Oh, excuse me. So, that's number 6. That was number 4 of the series. Number 6 of the series, and there's 7 full movies. So, pretty much, at number 5, on my list, we have Halloween 4. No, this is in the top 5. This movie is amazing. The only thing I don't like about this movie is, well, the way he dies and his mask and how he looks. I'll go over that later in Horrorthon. So, yeah. Also hitting at number 5, or number 4, I should say, actually. So, yeah, so it's kind of off there. Also hitting at number 4 on my list, because I'm not including the remake anymore on the list. That qualifies in another series, technically. It's Halloween Resurrection. Now, I'm going to tell you why, because there are flaws in these 2 movies. Halloween Part 4 has its bad things, and so does Resurrection. I can name them right now. It's mainly 2 things. I'll just requote them for you guys. So, the bad thing about Resurrection is the kung fu fighting and the cliffhanger ending, because they never made a sequel to this movie. They just started with the remakes after Resurrection, and they just made a fan film, technically, which actually is pretty good. But I don't have that either. Part 4, this movie, The Return of Michael Myers. So, yeah. So, you see that? How Part 4 has its problems. I already said them, technically. It's mainly because of his mask and the way he dies. Well, it's really the shape of his body and, how he's built and stuff. And the mask, the costume, and the built thing, that's both one thing. And then it's the way that he dies. Again, how it ends. It had a way, right before it hit credits, it was a cool scene. I'll go over that later, but yeah. So, at number 3 of the original series, not with remakes, hits H2O, Halloween H20, H2O, 20 years later, whatever you want to call it. I call it H20 usually, but this movie, one of the best. Uh, I love this movie. I mean, it's way better than that piece of junk Part 6, at least, and it's way better than Resurrection. And people are gonna say, why is it better than Part 4? Well, the reason why I don't like it, why I don't like Part 4 as much as H20 is because there are barely any flaws in this movie. This movie is pretty good. Overall, this movie was amazing when I watched it. I just recently watched it, and I just recently watched Halloween Part 4. I finished the movie anyway, but I can compare it because I just watched it barely 24 hours from each other, and almost 24 hours away from each other. But it's a really easy thing for me because H20 continues from Part 1 and 2 when that left off. Part 4, 5, and 6 are their own thing. They're not even, based off of things from part. They aren't continuations of what happened after 1 and 2, but H20 was, and that's why I kind of like it, and how it brings back Jamie Lee Curtis to the films, how it brings back Laurie, and it kind of does. The thing that I like about that's why I like Part 4 though, because it says that Jamie Lloyd, aka Laurie's daughter, that her mom died, and that is Laurie Strode. And remember, in this movie it says that she faked her death. So, doesn't that mean something? That means that, Part 4 and H20 actually have a bit of connection with that. But it doesn't say that she fakes her death inside that one, but it kind of helps out with this one. I mean, this one helped Halloween 4 to clear some stuff, and that it was just to keep Jamie Lloyd safe. So, yeah, that was number 3 on my list. Number 2, we have to have Halloween 2. Yes, Halloween 2. I just love it because it's a straight continuation from Part 1. And Part 1, when I watch Halloween 1, I do have to watch Part 2 because I feel like the movie isn't done. I believe it's just and I don't mean to put this in the thing because this movie suck, but Twilight and stuff, when it has Part 1 and 2, all that bull, all that BS and stuff like that. And Harry Potter, when it had Part 1 and 2, that's what I think Part 1 and 2 of Halloween are. I mean, pretty much that they're just the same movie, but in 2 different films. So, yeah. And number 1, Halloween Part 1. Once again, we have the best in the series. Yes. And I'm just here. One thing, please do not criticize just don't talk junk because one, this is just my opinion. You guys can disagree with it anytime, and I'm okay with that. A lot of people have different opinions. So, I can I'm not mad at any of the people watching this who start to talk junk because of their opinions versus my opinions. But you can't judge an opinion because it's not fact. So this movie, the best in the series, everybody knows it. Without this movie, there would be no Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, which are better series. Yes, I said that because really Friday the 13th I think is better than Halloween, and well, the entire series is better, not the first movies. But still my favorite film series is Friday the 13th because it has other better films in it. I mean, other than part 1. Even though my favorite in the Friday the 13th series is part 1, but no matter that, I still think the series has has better movies. That are just better sequels that stand out from the whole series, from Halloween series. And well, also Child's Play. I don't know why people say that Child's Play is better than Halloween at all, because they made crappy movies. Well, they made pretty much just like parody kind of movies and stuff. For the last two, not including Curse of Chucky, which is gonna be pretty cool, I think. But Halloween, the best in the series. Once again, just it just continues. It just starts something that's pretty cool. So I'll sign you off with a little music. So peace out, guys.